It appears that in the course of a separate civil lawsuit, there had been some documents subpoenaed that were obtained during what I guess we could call an investigation of potential election interference in Georgia that was orchestrated by lawyers working for the Trump campaign. And the potential problem here is those lawyers apparently directed a computer forensics firm to go access sensitive voting information from the machines before that information was turned over to the Secretary of State. That is a potential violation of Georgia law. And so once this information came to light, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation opened a criminal investigation into this conduct to see if any laws were violated. Well, there's several different crimes that could be at issue here. I think some of the reporting has mentioned computer trespass. I don't think that's really the right crime here, because what these lawyers and forensic analysts would argue is that they were given permission by the local county officials, at least the GOP county officials, to get access to this information. I think the most relevant potential crime would be removal of election information without proper authority during the course of the election process. There are several crimes in Georgia that deal with getting into the guts of these electronic voting machines and removing them or copying them or altering them in any way. And that punishment could be as low as a misdemeanor, or it can be a felony offense. So those are the crimes that I think the GBI is looking at. It's not just the lawyers who are involved, it's the computer forensics team, and even potentially the county Republican officials who let this activity take place. Well, I think it will send a message, certainly if there are any prosecutions here, that regardless of how you feel about the voting machines, whether you think they're accurate or not accurate, you can't take it upon yourself to access those machines without approval from the Secretary of State and going through the right channels. Each county can't determine how they're going to handle those machines independently. It has to be done pursuant to Georgia law. And perhaps the fact that there's now a criminal investigation will send a pretty strong message that those machines need to remain intact and unaltered during the course of the election and tabulating the votes afterward. I think the GBI will want to get certainly some sort of documentation to show what actually happened. They've probably already received the documents that were involved in the subpoena showing the messages back and forth between the lawyers and the computer forensics team. They will certainly want to at least attempt to interview not just the lawyers and the computer folks, but also the GOP officials there in Coffee County about what happened and how you guys let them get access to these machines. So witness interviews are critically important in investigations like this. And I don't expect the GBI to make any decision about prosecution or arrests until those interviews are complete. Well, it's not a complicated case. I mean, if these lawyers and the computer folks actually got access to these machines and they removed sensitive information, that's a crime. So I think it's going to be interesting to see when they try to interview these people, will they talk to law enforcement? Will they try to cooperate? Or will they basically say, you know, we don't have anything to say to you, arrest us if you think we've committed a crime? So a lot will depend on how they respond to this investigation. But it's not a complicated case. I wouldn't expect the investigation to take very long. It would not take anywhere near that amount of time, and it's going down a different path. I mean, what's happening in Fulton County, it's not a GBI-run investigation. It's a grand jury investigation that just by definition takes a long time. When the GBI gets involved, they're going to focus pretty intently on the key actors, kind of like they did when they took over the Ahmaud Arbery case. Totally different type of case, but you saw how fast the GBI can move. It's not going to take them months. It may take them weeks, if that.